Sure if you can see that at the minute, but we have a butterfly element, 2 hearts and 2 circles there, and they correspond to this thin lit die set here. Now for anyone who's new to die cutting, a Big's die, so these they can cut through thicker material. So if you're mass producing those elements of the card or just cards in general, this is the die that you're going to need, because this will cut anything that a strong pair of scissors will cut. So it can cut multiple layers of card, it can cut corrugated card, it can cut, you know, vellum, fabric as well. And then we have the more intricate thin lit dies here. So we tend to use these for one sheet of card stock, and these just have really detailed little bits. For instance, this butterfly here with all the patterns in the wings here. And this corresponds to this here, so you can put a nice shade behind it, which we're going to do today. The thin lit die set has some flower elements also, and some shapes that can go around the flowers. And then they have those corresponding heart elements here that go with the Big's die. Okay, so let's get started. We also have some pattern paper. I've used most of this pack because I love it so much. But you can see the different types of card that we have here. So we've got some kind of squiggly lines, some lovely heart shapes, and we've got some plain colours as well. These ones here, because they always come in handy. And then we've got one that matches the fabric that's coming with it. So the only extra thing I'm going to be using today, just some of my Sizzix tools, but you might, if you don't have the Sizzix versions at home, you might have something else. It might be my craft knife, my scissors, and just one piece of white cardstock, so thick white cardstock for a card base here. So let's get started. I've cut some of our pattern paper here, and this is just going to be one of the elements that I'm going to layer up on here, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a tilt because I like to give that kind of playfulness to the cards. So I'll start by sticking this down. So the card is double-sided, it has patterns on each side, so you can choose which side you're going to use for certain makes. So I will give it a bit of a tilt there. Then I'm going to show you the capability. So I'll show you how we're going to cut this fabric with the Big's die. With a Big's, you take your Big Shot machine, which obviously also comes in your starter kit. So with the Big's, we don't need the multi-purpose platform, we just need some cutting plates. And I'm going to place the Big's on there. I'm going to place the material face down on the shape that you're going to want to cut, or if you're cutting all the shapes, then you just put it face down on top of the Big's. And then you simply wind it through the machine. And when I bring this out, you can see that that's cut. So that nice butterfly shape there. Okay, and then next, so that's all I'm going to be cutting this time with the Big's. So I'll just put the Big's to one side over here. And then I'm going to use my thin lit, so the corresponding thin lit of that butterfly shape. So with a thin lit die, you do need your multi-purpose platform with the adapter on top, and then you sandwich it up. So with one cutting plate, I'm going to choose some of this nice heart pattern paper, same as what we had on there. Do you know what? No, I'm not, because I want it to stand out a bit, so I'm going to choose some of the pink pattern paper. I'll put my thin lit die on the top, facing down. Then we sandwich it up, and just look how this cuts. So I'll just wind it back to me. You only do need one turn through the machine then. And you can see those pieces just falling out there. If I just could do with my die pick, we just tease that out of there. And then we have that really detailed element there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this on top of my pattern paper there to give a nice patterned butterfly. I'll use some of this glue here, which hopefully you've got some glue at home. So in this case, because it's fabric I'm using underneath, I am going to stick the wings down, But if you were just using card underneath, you might just want to stick the body down so that the wings can come up away from the card, which might add a bit of dimension. So I'm going to plonk that down on top. And there we have the butterfly with the fabric underneath. So that's lovely. And then the card also gives me the ability to bend the wings up and just manipulate it a bit so it's going to stand out. Okay, before I stick this butterfly down, I've used some pink card. You would use the pink card from the pack here, and you would have to use a printer to print off one of our free card sentiments. So this is one of the sentiments that's free on our website. So if you go onto our website and just look in some of our additional extras, you'll see that we've got free range of printed sentiments. So I will be using some foam tape with mine. I'm just going to use a little bit there to make that come away from the card base. So I'm going to be doing a Mother's Day card, so I've chosen the best mum sentiment. Okay, so we've got all this space here in the card, and I'm going to use some of our flower elements to fill that space in. And take the mids of the flowers also. Here. So these circle elements, as part of the Thinlit set, circles are just timeless. They come in handy time and time again. You will always need circles. So I'm going to choose some white sentiments, so centres of the flowers. I will cut these here. On this machine, you can't just cut one thing at once. I'm going to use a lot of different Thinlit dies now on a few different pieces of card that I've chosen. I'm going to choose another colour from this set here. I think I might choose this lovely teacup pattern paper. That's the last of the card because I've used so much of it. I'll cut a little bit off. We don't need to use it all. Try and use it sparingly. So I'm going to have a flower element there. And then one more flower element, I will use just some plain pink. And I'll put that one down there. So this is going to just be 2 flowers, and I'll cut one more just to add into that space. Okay, so these are all cut. And then I'm going to stick these together. So I'll use a bit of my express glue. And I'm going to add that to the centre of the flower. And I'm just going to bend the leaves up a bit to add a bit of dimension. There we go. So I just place these around and see what they look like first. I'll take my other flower centre. Oh, that one's a bit small. I will use, actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut this again here because I want a bigger flower centre. So you get such a massive choice of circles in there. So cut some white. Actually, I'll choose a different colour. I'm going to have a pink mid of the flower. So this is all part of the fun here. You've got so many different choices with this set that you can just make choices. You can mix and match. And I'll stick that down to the centre. There we've got 2 flowers there, 2 totally different flowers. I'm going to do one more, and this is all just using that pattern paper that comes within the set there. So I'm just going to fold these up. And then that one is going to go here. One more flower, and then I'm going to stick on my butterfly. So I'm just going to use some of this colour here. I'm going to use this colour card just to match my element here. So I'll put that on there. I'm going to put, I'll do a smaller flower, and then I'm going to use that little circle that I cut earlier. Okay, I will add a tiny bit of glue. And part of the fun is just playing around with it, having a good look, seeing if you like the composition, and then just sticking it down. Okay, so I'll stick these flowers down now, and I'll just finish it off with that butterfly sentiment on there. One here, and lastly one here, and I'll just have that slightly overlapping. And just on that best mum sentiment, and I've bent up the wings of the butterfly, I'll add that down, and you can see that this glue will stick the fabric down to the paper as well. There we are. So here we have a lovely dimensional make here, a nice card that you could send to your mum on Mother's Day, and this is using all of the parts of the Big Shot starter kit. So thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. Thank you.